Okay, so I've got my writing stamps here, and you might notice that some of the stamps have got a little bit of colour on them, and that's just a little bit of staining from the ink, and that will happen over time, but it doesn't affect how the stamps stamp. They still work totally fine even if they have staining. So I'm going to use the Wow You Are Listening for Sounds in Words, and I'm going to peel it off the set, and I'm going to pop it onto my acrylic stamping block. Just center it there, and it just sticks like that. I'm going to use red to start with, pretend that this is my student's work, and I just need to center that on the ink pad, and I'm just going to tap, tap, tap gently, and then I'm going to just push and lift, and there's my stamp. And then I can pop that back on the ink pad. I'm going to go to my next student's work, and same thing, tap, 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 push and lift. And my next student's work, I've just got some scrap paper here, tap, tap, push and lift, and just keep going just like that, push and lift. Okay, so when I'm done using that stamp, or if I wanted to change color, the color of my ink, then I would need to clean the ink off here. I can get some scrap paper, and I can just sort of tap a lot of that ink off onto scrap paper, so you could have that sitting on your desk if you wanted. But to clean it off properly, you just need something like a baby wipe, and I just have these little travel packs of the Curash fragrance-free baby wipes, and I just keep those in my drawer, and you just take one out and just clean your stamp off. There are other ways that you can clean your stamp. You can have a little chamois as well that sort of sits on your desk in a container. But I'm just going to use this for now, and I'm going to store it in a Ziploc bag, and that's back in my desk drawer to use later if I need to. So now that my stamp is clean, I'm just going to peel that off, and I'm going to pop it back on my set. And then I might need to use a different stamp, so I'm going to use the Amazing You Are Leaving Spaces Between Your Words. So same thing, you're going to pop it on your acrylic stamping block with the flat side facing down, and you've got your raised image facing up towards you. And this time I'm going to use a blue ink pad, and the VersaFine Clair ink pads, which are these ones here, they are narrower. The ink pad bit is narrower than these ones here, which is an older style. So you're going to have to move the stamp across a little bit. So I just sort of go tap, 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 about 3 taps moving it across, and then stamp your stamp. So again, go to your next piece of work. Oops, took 2 there. So we go tap, tap, tap across, and push and lift. You can just pop that back on there if you like. And one more, again, tap, 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 push and lift. So when I'm done with that stamp, I again need to clean off the ink. Now I could get my scrap paper again if I wanted to, and tap off the ink, but I still need to clean it, make sure I clean it properly, because then you don't get any transferring of ink that might be left on there onto a different colour. So I'm just going to wipe that like that, and pop that in my little Ziploc bag, and then I'm going to pop that back onto my set. You might find that if you only have one acrylic block, you might get a little bit tired of having to change stamps over, especially if it's something that you're changing frequently. So what you might want to do in that situation is get some more acrylic blocks, even if it's just 1 or 2 more, And then your most frequently used stamps, if you're using the same ones around the same time, you can put those on the blocks and they'll be ready to go. So I might find that in my class I've got kids who are around the same level, and I've got lots of kids who are starting to use full stops. So I'm going to pop that one on there. And I also have kids who are experimenting with capital letters and starting to use some capital letters successfully. So I'm going to pop that one on there, and this one's probably the biggest one, so it's got to position that one a bit more carefully so it fits. And then you've always got those stamps ready to go straight away when you need them. And when you're finished using them, if you just pop them into a little Ziploc bag and you just store those on your desk or in your drawer or wherever is convenient for you, and then they're always ready to go. And when you've finished with those and you've got something else that you're focusing on, you just peel off those stamps and put them back, and then you put on your new stamps that you need to use. And the reason that you want to store them in the Ziploc bags and not just sort of chuck them in your drawer like this is that you want to keep any dust or any little bits of lint or dirt or whatever, you want to keep that off the stamp. So if you put it in a Ziploc bag, it just keeps it dust free, and it's easy to just get out. And yeah, so you want to make sure you store them protected like that.